Do what?
I'm waiting for my dad.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's fine.
You have these now. I want one. Do you have these?
Do I have tea?
Kiss it. Kiss it.
Maybe. I want it all for myself.
Arigato.
Hi.
Gracias.
Hi, how are you?
Sit. Go
Put it on. Yeah. You need to go sit down like your mama does.
What? What?
That works, okay. That works.
What?
Okay. Ricky,
Well, they might be here in a little bit. Go sit down.
I worked today.
Oh my God, these look like the pair I wore in prison. I said, oh my God, these look like the pair I wore in prison.
Maybe they are.
They might be. Let's see the number on the inside of it.
Is there a number in there?
Nope. All right, those are, nope, those are ladies.
Okay. My icicles are done. How about you?
Well, there was ice. There is ice in the car. Dad, it's called Louisville.
Okay.
No. Well, actually, no, I've got my.
Okay, that is enough. I'm not gonna deal with this right now. Attitude, go.
So yeah, that's. Dated school. I'm gonna be going for custody of the other.
I would.
Well, in lieu of the new evidence that has come to light, which I'll tell you in a little bit. Yeah. They don't need to be over there.
I like all the brought me food.
Tequila.
I'm sorry, that would work.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't drink it anyway, even if you did serve it up. I guess
Kill ya?
it almost did. That's actually what made
There
me
you
quit
go.
drinking. I turned 21. I thought I could drink a whole 175 to my own head of tequila. I projectile puked and I quit right then and there.
When
I went to an
in high
AA
school-
meeting
when
and I
I was in
went,
high school, we went to a party and they dared one of my friends to chug a pint of vodka. He did. We had enough common sense to keep that poor soul awake for 4 hours. He could have died.
Well, I was always able to handle the vodka. I could drink a whole 175 of vodka. I was small and people were like, you can't live through that. I'm like, yeah, I totally can. It was tequila that made me stop drinking though, because I did not have the power of nothing after that. No liquor smelled good.
Okay, what are we
I'd
drinking?
like, could I get some coffee with a tiny bit of the milk in it? Although I probably could have just said coffee because I do have my own milk here. All right. I'll be right back. I'm not ditching you or my food. I'm just going to get my sugar.
All right.
Dark purple ones that's ready last night. They don't have the real firm texture.
All right, so a lot of people like to push real heavy the black on black crime, right? Like for everybody else, it's just a criminal act, but we gotta push it real heavy that it's black on black. Oh, we should ignore black on black crime. It was black people who did it to those black people. Well, should we ignore crimes when it's a white person committing a crime against another white person? Y'all don't make no damn sense. Yes, you can coin a term. That doesn't make the act itself acceptable. You notice that once in a while, it's not necessarily a black person robbing a white person like you want to perpetuate as if it's some magic truth that every black person must be a thief, because it ain't true. That every black person out there is out to victimize white people. When you see a black person in your neighborhood, supposedly they're there to fence your fucking neighborhood. Oh my God, a black person. They might steal from me. Oh my God. What if he's a gangster? What if he's trying to sell crack? Oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah, people are pretty fucking crazy. They don't think right. Like these people who want to victimize me and threaten me and fucking threaten my friends, and then they go, well, you're still stalking a dead girl. You can't stalk a dead girl, stupid. It's not possible. She's dead. Where the fuck did you get your education? I'm not sure if you were educated somewhere else and English is not your first language and you've only been here a couple of weeks and you're just not real good about understanding. Gentleman was waving at me. Or if it's really that people are that stupid. mostly it's that people just play that stupid. And of course, all these people playing stupid resulted in predators getting away and committing crimes repeatedly against me and forcing me to do some pretty goddamn desperate shit to get heard. Like, seriously, should an at-risk adult have to threaten his predators back in order to get the cops to do their fucking jobs? Should an at-risk adult have to threaten their predators back to get these cops to admit that threatening to kill people is against the law? Should that be necessary? Now, due to the fact that they repeatedly told me it wasn't against the law, but then arrested me when I did it, you know what? At least I admitted to it. I didn't try to hide it. I didn't try destroying the evidence. Huh. Meanwhile, I'd like to have access to that evidence. Repeatedly, they've arrested me on zero evidence. Zero. You'd think that a crime would have to be committed for somebody to be arrested. The fact that I literally had to commit criminal acts to show that these things were criminal, because you guys all want to argue with me, pocketbook lawyer. Oh yeah, that's not against the law. Really? Watch this. You know? If I tell you that these guys committed a crime against me, and you say it's not against the law, and then I try it, and it's against the law, apparently you were fucking wrong. And guess what? I proved you wrong. Now that you've been proven wrong, will you admit that you're fucking wrong, and we can continue on with getting something actually done? Where the fuck is my sugar? Well, that didn't work. No sugar tonight in the coffee. No sugar tonight in my tea. No sugar tonight. Well, obviously, at the moment, I am not talking to anybody about anything, and I am also not eating anything. So, the purpose of, part of the purpose of my visit is not being fulfilled at the moment. Fuck it. Oh, is that it? Fucking Farvik Nugan! Was ist das? Das ist eine schicke Strümpfe. Was ist los? Los! Los! Sorry, that's from a comedy skit. Oddly enough, it was an American comedy skit. I just don't remember where it's from. Fuck it. sugar tonight in my coffee. No sugar tonight in my tea. But no. No sugar tonight. Fuck it. No sugar.
The way they had it twisted. Some of it was placed in there really nice, and then other times there was pieces in there.
I figured she took hers off. You had yours on. I wanted to play dress up.
Yeah.
Is it right if I come in next time in a Wonder Woman costume?
More power to you.
I think I look good. I can't even speak English right now. I didn't find the sugar. And apparently... Alright. Let's do some vocal exercise to see if I can remember how to utilize the English language.
See, you know how to eat. That's what the biscuit's for.
Yeah, lots of time up in the mountains with filthies and nasties and people who are in the military.
Exactly.
Lewis, can I show you something? My friend Ray. All right. Hey, Doug.
I told you, did I tell you they were gonna probably be here?
Let's go. We got her and the other one at home today. What do you do at home? Get back to the broke out for this. I'm in sick. I can find a place. I'm gonna have to turn it into a flat. Hey, John.
Bonjour.
We're trying to find a way to call, you and Kara
Okay.
as his.
All right. Grayson, ready? Bring your chair over this way closer. No, just the three of us. I left her butt at home. Thank God. I like it. Guys, last. We'll be back. Yes, it's an orange.
It took me so much scrubbing to get it this far. The thing started off looking like a strawberry. A cut, a split, or is it rotten out?
If it's got a leak in it, most of the time.
Like the main junction. Isn't it like right behind the front wheel? It's a 22.
Yeah, but a motorhome, a lot of people don't want to tow it.
Exactly.
The only ones. It doesn't matter if it's a 20, if it's bigger than the adult RVs, then
Yeah, that's but it's 22 foot. Yeah.
yes, you need a record for that.
That's not true. You can track the weight on the front.
Hello? I thought I almost hung up on you, sorry. Hi, Mom. Sarah said, Jason said hi. Hi.
My friggin' phone won't stay
I
on.
was calling to let you know that I went over there and looked and
So you're painting that thing pink, huh?
No, somebody else did.
No, it was already painted. It took me about 4 hours to scrub this side clean here, and this is about 2 hours worth of work right here. Now, I probably could do it a lot easier and a lot quicker, but I'm busy. My hands don't work so much, and that's one of the problems with getting my...
But
Not
yesterday
everything
I
works
wasn't
now.
doing too good. Today I'm moving a little bit faster. Then
Am I bothering you? Right.
not pushing myself.
My mom always
God, I've
said
been to my YouTube this morning a lot. So many people don't get that. They're like Jared today. I was explaining to him, you know, the whole situation with him not behaving. I'm, of course, pissed off about the situation, but then I also explain, I'm like, I don't hate these people. I understand each and every one of these people's situations because I've been in a lot of that myself. So, of course, some people are explaining their stuff to me, and Jared's telling me what's going on, and you know, that would have been cool if Caleb had stuck around for that, because that was actually a pretty cool conversation. And then the second one we had, I was hoping to be able to record that one too, but I left my phone in the car, which is probably a good thing, because he was telling me secrets. Nothing bad, obviously, but...
Hey, Sean,
Yes, sir.
I like to see rats back.
You do? Does it really look like a T-Rex? T-Rex?
This side, there's a T-Rex.
That's a T-Rex? And that's a strawberry.
That's
strawberry.
Upside down.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. That's what I was going to ask you. Did you eat strawberries today? No? Just pizza.
It's
Okay.
a vegetable.
Okay. Okay. So you just wanted to be safe for Uncle Scotty, huh? Good boy.
You said upside down. I tried it upside down. How's it look?
Looks like he's trying to grow a horn out of his head, huh?
Yeah. Can you open your mouth?
Oh my god, that's cool.
I'd really like to try that.
Oh, try it on. Wait, we got COVID going on. We should wait till the elections are done and then we can spray it down.
Anthony needs to eat first. It's okay. Do you want some salt? He's tearing the bread up and putting it in, so he better eat it. Hurry up. One. Do you want some salt for us?
That's one of the things about getting to talk to people and work with people that aren't afraid of being recorded and aren't afraid of friggin' sticking up with what they're saying. And then when something horrible happens, then it's definitely recorded.
So
It's one of my frustrations, which is
everywhere, and
because a lot of times when I'm frustrated about a situation, I'm not blaming people for it. I'm frustrated that it happened. Well, I'm blaming you.
well, fucking A, go ahead.
Did you paint it?
No, somebody else.
No, somebody else did.
He's trying to clean it up. Take the paint off. Now, put your cup away. Well, good.
Yeah, I pulled it out of the garbage can.
Start eating, bud. Start eating. Grab your spoon.
All right, so I got some of that, that demoisturizer that they have at the sporting goods store. Because I get the moisture in my car and it's off of there, so I've got 2 packages of it in my car. And then, I read what it was made out of, and I had to stop immediately because it's calcium chloride.
It's got meat.
And I have DOT-free fluid. If you mix that with calcium hypochlorite, then it's very unsafe. So after I got it and I realized what it was made out of, I went, all right, I gotta see if this is the same stuff because I don't want that happening. Turns out I had nothing to worry about. It's not the same substance, but that about gives me a heart attack because, being as I live in my vehicle.
1 second.
Nope, I'm full, but I was definitely here for the company.
Full of.
I am so full of it, my eyes are brown. Yeah, thank you, ass.
Did you find out the store?
It is. Is he really a Goodwill?
Jared's fiance works there.
I actually knew that. I haven't gotten to meet her because she works different hours than he does.
Was that hashtag drive-by? I said hashtag drive-by.
What do you call the drive?
You're still gonna eat.
All right, so
Don't
here,
take up on your liquids and not eat. That will tick me off.
here's something that I think is a good idea that I don't think anybody here is going to push, but it's probably in everybody's best interest. We need to get the mandatory reporters who are in this town, whose job it is to be mandated reporters, actually trained to do that job. Nobody is following the...
You gotta go potty.
I'll take it.
Papa's gonna go get this.
I can only juggle with one. I call it playing catch.
Now, as long as it's not paying second too.
You know, it's weird. I can't see people with colored hair without having a panic attack. They remind me of some dead folks.
I'm not done my hair. I'm good.
So you're not scary to me.
No.
All right, you could be scary, but I mean that. You know how some things just bring you back to dark places. I don't like reading the back of silverware because sometimes it says Chesapeake and Greenbrier.
That also depends on if Daddy has you for your birthday too.
Well, I wanted to harass some people before they closed, but it's looking like they're still pretty full yet.
My husband's right there.
Oh my God, with the nunchucks, he screams at people.
Yeah, no. Yeah. My husband's more.
I was told he's actually a really nice guy. I haven't talked to him because the only 3 times I've seen him outside of here, he was swinging nunchucks.
Probably not. I don't know. Yeah. I know he's not paying. I'm talking to him. So he has 2 more people. That's what it
Oh, Miss Eileen, I was waiting on you to get back to me about Dean, but I actually looked up the mandatory reporting laws. I figured it was pretty important. The mandated reporting laws. One of the things that I noticed was that nobody in the area is actually trained in any of the mandated
They
reporting.
did not do a damn thing. Unfortunately, they took me.
I was just telling Jason that I think that we should probably see about doing something about that. Somebody that is so good, but I got some cojones.
It's online. And when they're
No excuse.
Society.
I would teach it.
This is connected 130 seconds, sorry. Touching my phone.
Throw it out in the bay. Give her a float test out in the bay.
Right?
Give her a float test.
You know, they should do that. Since they make, when they make a telephone with a PTO shaft, then I'll be impressed.
Okay, work on it.
Yeah, $9 for that.
Looks kind of foggy outside. Looks kind of foggy outside.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty all right. I talked to Eileen about the mandated reporter training thing and how people here aren't trained. The mandated reporter training, like if we get abused and we come to a mandated reporter, they don't know what to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, instead of helping you off the road, they laugh at you. Well, they don't know what they're supposed to do in a mandated reporter issue. That issue there is a public safety issue because somebody could trip over your body if they leave you dead there for too long.
Yeah, right.
I shouldn't have said it like that, but
There was one guy, he was over in Tacoma and he was laying on the sidewalk And people kept walking by him, and they thought he was. Well, no, it's in the middle of December, I think it was, and he was so frozen he could hardly talk, shaking his arm out to people. He almost died. He was going through that frost stuff. Yeah.
I've been there when they drive by the ice cream truck to pick them up when they do freeze to death. Some days down in Seattle it gets bad.
Yeah.
And that morgue truck, it looks like the Schwann's delivery truck.
Right.
But yeah, sure.
Yeah. Did you ask me?
When I was up there, actually, on my YouTube channel, I actually have video footage when I was trying to find a computer full of evidence. As I was walking by the bus station, there was a guy there who had a heroin needle hanging out of his arm. He was passed out. Yeah. They sent the firemen there. I'm like, that is just the weirdest damn thing. They sent the firemen, not an EMT, not the police. They sent the firemen.
And he had a rig hanging out of it?
Yeah, it's on video, actually. It's called Computaco 1. Yep, on YouTube. The very beginning of the video, you get to see me walking by the guy, and he's got the rig in his arm. And then one of the other homeless people calls me over. He's one of the local meth addicts, and he told me he was able to figure out where my computer was because the cops wouldn't help. So I had to go to the meth addicts and ask them for help. They were able to get my computer back, and it got stolen again by more tweakers. And then everybody's solution was for me to go kill those tweakers. I'm like, are you serious? That doesn't work. I don't
have one.
I had half one in my car, but I think I smoked it when I went out there a minute ago. Yes, sir. It was good to see you. Yes, ma'am, I am misbehaving. Dessert. You're gonna make me eat the dessert? Yes, sir.
Bitches. Just chill. We have them. We don't already have it. I got my dad.
Anyway, I have talked to a few people already seem to think it's a good idea. I'm getting overwhelmed by the noise. I'm not sure if you can tell.
She was at Goodwill and she found a couple things, so she
It's not something that people choose. It's not like they want to overwhelm you. They just want to communicate. And it's not something that's gonna hurt me permanently or anything like that.
About tomorrow being your birthday. He's right there. He goes, oh, that's just 47.
23.
He says, when you said that, I said, yeah.
It's 74 and holding.
74 and holding. Yeah, I'm gonna take her out tomorrow night to the casino house, the buffet, and then take her dancing. It's her birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm taking her out for dinner. And
Oh my God! We ought to do the Garfield thing for you.
See, it goes Dustin's and mine is
It's a birthday song, but I'm not sure if it's appropriate for church.
little kids.
it's nothing for you. There you go.
No, I went to see Andrew and Bernice the other day because last Saturday because
Their
they
dates.
had to postpone Mark's birthday because Mark was sick.
Actually, dried fruits are a good analogy to life. You know, you got the dates, and then when you have the kids, you get raisins, right? raising kids after you're dating instead of before?
Yeah.
So Scotty is going to.
I was totally asking my YouTube viewers. I was like, did Scotty say he was married or not?
No,
Get everybody together.
no, he's going to get married by the Justice of the Peace either January or February, and then he's going to. He says within a couple of years have the big
Are you done?
ceremony.
I can take it?
Oh, come
We
here.
can wash it.
I'm sorry I was being rude. You guys are almost cleared out now.
We're trying.
I'll keep this for wiping my face or the other end in case of emergency.
Looks like that. Like one of the things that.
The ninja mask.
I took Duke's through ninjutsu.
Okay.
Look at the cheese, ain't it?
It is. It's definitely better than nothing. When I'm sitting in my car and I'm going, man, I haven't eaten anything in a couple of days because I had to run around and do errands instead of going to the feed, or it's in Bay City again and I can't drive that far. And I go, oh, yeah, I got a block of cheese. Mountain brown meow.
That deserves my name.
Do it to people. Common emotion. The problem is when it overwhelms me, I need to be able to
Don't
dip out.
feel it.
Time for a day or two or three. Get away from
Yeah.
Hands on
Yeah,
both hands.
whatever you do.
All hands on deck. There you go.
I've been working with Terry the last 2 days.
Yep, I got it.
I don't know if you ate here last week, but they had those little tiny cherries. No. Oh, I brought a bunch of them. They look real bad on the outside. They're real brown. But they were
It's random.
good pears. I cut out, there was a few bad spots on them, but not real bad. What I did was I stopped the seeds and put them in the pot.
Try to get it touched up and get some copies made and get it sent to the boys.
Once today I peeled them and then I'm cutting them up in chunks. We're gonna make kind of like a chutney. That was all recipes for that.
What's up, woman? Okay,
If my stepdad ever called my mom that, she would have beaten the holy hell out of me.
what? A woman?
Woman.
She is a woman. She ain't a girl.
Mom.
Hey, come back here. Give me your glass. Don't go walking around with it. Thank you very much. I realize that.
Actually, my mom doesn't really point. She does this, puts her hands behind her back and gets all up in your face and opens her eyes all big like this and smiles at you.
Where's your mother live?
Not that lucky. We're not that lucky.
that water.
She's not a good person. I'm not sure where she lives,
Jesus.
but stay away from people like that.
Wipe it on your hands.
Well, my mom was sort of raised all right, but she had a real bad dad who didn't do good
How's that feel?
things. Kind of messed her head up.
Okay.
That does make sense.
Until I graduated from
Did I
high
get it?
school.
Oh, let me try again.
The farm belonged to my grandfather and my dad, he wanted, my dad's siblings wanted their money out of the farm. My dad had to sell it, he would have had to sell everything. And start all those cracks. And then then I went to school down there for 2 years. Worked, and then I met my husband. Got married. I met him on the 28th of September. We were married the 3rd of November. Same year. Had him for over 49 years.
And we loved him every day. Are you done? Okay. Yeah. Up here.
Did you hear that train whistle?
Yeah. I'm giving him a noogie with his hat on.
Where do I put the choo-choo?
Right there.
The choo-choo chair.
Beep. Let me do it again.
I know his mom.
All right, I wanted to say thank you very much for being so nice to me and for coming over, and you served me almost every. You are. Plus, you're snarky.
Exactly. Trouble.
I am. Also, I wanted to say, I don't try to avoid you.
Oh no, it's
You
okay.
you remind me of somebody that I know, so it just weirds me out.
It's
And it's
okay.
totally not your fault. That's not me calling you weird.
Because my mom was not. She's like, who is it? I'm like, this
Cool.
guy.
Do what?
See you next week.
You probably will, unless I disappear. I could vanish. Poof.
That's only going to be when the rapture.
No, I'll be stuck here. That's all right. I'll still feed people, and I'll still pass out blankets to make sure they don't freeze. I tell people, you know what? If Jesus was in Boulder, Colorado, when I was passing out blankets, if Jesus was in danger of freezing to death, I'd give him a blanket. And if Satan was in danger of freezing to death, I'd give him a blanket too.
Which chair? This chair is when you.
Be safe. I'm going over to Fred Meyer's, so I'll probably see you shortly. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
You don't have to smile for me to be grateful. Thank you for helping us.
There you go.
And thank you, people. I'm not going to thank you. I did that last week. Yes, sir. All right, so talking to Jason and there right now, they're closing up the church. Now there's 3 ladies here. They're just really super sweet. Now they're understanding of a lot of this stuff, you know. When I talked to Eileen, like she said, they're not trained. Like I said, they're not trained, you know. It's frustrating for a lot of people. A lot of these people at these services, you know, getting hired for these services and not knowing what their fucking job is. Not having any formal training, or they're getting the wrong training. They're being trained in what not to do. Now that comes from a situation around 2010, 2011. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of what was going on at the time, but we had CPS killing people, like in the news for legit killing kids. I don't mean that they were shooting these kids in the head or anything, but they knew that a lot of kids were in really unsafe and fucked up situations, and that these kids were safer with their own families, primarily in the state of California is the big ones, but these kids were safer with their families than in the foster homes. Some of those kids literally dehydrated to death. Fuck, I'm chilly. And you guys got to hear me fucking venting. They get to hear me venting too. I don't tell them anything different than I tell you guys. I let them know that I'm frustrated. I let them know why. I let them know that I don't hate them. I don't blame them for anything that other people did. I don't think that they're doing stuff to be evil and mean and vindictive. The thing with mandated reporters is that in 2010, they basically stopped teaching people how to be mandated reporters because everybody in DHS who really solidly wanted to do the right thing and help others realized they're not going to be allowed. They're not going to be allowed to turn in their coworkers. The mandated reporter laws are not going to be enforced. When the state of California realized they were going to get in a shit ton of fucking trouble, I mean, this would have been an international incident instead of just local news. So they just stopped training people. It's kind of like the sheriff's department. You've got the good cops and you've got the cops that are in charge. And if the cops that are in charge realize that you will tell on them if they break the law, they're not going to let you be a cop for very long. You guys know that in Boulder I was known as Starbucks Sean. That's because Starbucks was base. That was a safe place. The kids weren't allowed to come hang out with me. They weren't allowed to come talk to me. They had to leave me alone when I was out and about. But in Starbucks, I couldn't kick them out. They were allowed to sit next to me because of the Starbucks safe place policy. And they'd come and tell me all their problems. Once in a great while, somebody would ask me if I could have a talk with one of the kids down there. Nicole Gerald, there was a kid down there, I think it was Spencer actually, and he ended up killing his best friend, stabbed him right in the chest, right through the heart. Anyway, she wanted me to, it was either him or Miles, I don't remember which. Miles I completely forgot about. He was the nicest kid too. But after Natalie died, you know, I was going through all of that fucking slander and hatred towards me on her website. I found several of the people who pretended to be friends with me had typed on there some pretty atrocious shit, like Bobby Forrest. And Miles, of course. Miles is dead now, by the way. His family, who abused the shit out of him most of his life, got $3.2 million over a false arrest. Miles ended up killing himself. His family don't deserve that money. The actual victims do. That includes Miles's victims. Miles chose to victimize me despite the fact that I'd never done him wrong. There's also Officer Paddock asked me to help a young woman named Rachel out once, and I did. And I don't know how old she was. I'm assuming she was at least 18 years of age because she was talking to Officer Paddock, and Officer Paddock is the one that sent her my way. There's also the situation with Maddie Boa when she got beaten up by her dad for being a lesbian, and she came to me about it. And I took it to Officer Ramos, and I was like, dude, these kids need to not be down here. I mean, you know how fucked up the situation this is, and these kids fucking glorify this life. They glorify the fucking druggies. They fucking watch that Gangsta's Paradise bullshit, and then they want to be fucking wannabe G's, fucking rolling in cash, riding on them 20-inch dubs in Boulder, Colorado. Well, you live in Boulder, Colorado. Your parents will probably buy you the 20-inch dubs. And don't get me wrong, there's a poor population in Boulder, Colorado, but they are the minority, not the majority. Boulder actually tried to pass a law making it illegal for anybody who makes less than $1 million a year to live there. Well, that's just fucking crazy. All right. I can't find my rolling papers. Fuck it. You know, here's the thing. I tell people my frustrations and why. And I do try to tell them one-on-one, even if it's being recorded. The reason for it being one-on-one is because, first of all, it gets a lot less complicated. When I'm trying to explain to Tara what's going on, but she's busy all over Ed's nuts, like, really, it's difficult to get anything done. When I'm paying Tara to help me, and I'm paying Tara to help me, and it needs to be one-on-one so that she can pay fucking attention, yeah, Ed coming along for the ride and fucking destroying evidence is a bad fucking idea. And then Tara wanted to make excuses for Ed and pretend like, well, all right, here's the thing with recorded and unbroken recording. You know, it shows the whole situation. Even the part where Ed destroyed an entire computer full of evidence, and all I could do was take a picture of it. But I made mention of the fact that I was taking that picture. So Nora said that she couldn't help. And why couldn't she help? Because she doesn't know nothing about computers. So then she's trying to pretend that from where she was sitting, this is after the fact, that Ed didn't wipe my entire computer full of evidence because she was sitting there watching him the whole time, and magically now she's a computer genius. Meanwhile, she didn't even get the right fucking computer. Oh, Ed never touched it. No, he certainly did. It's recorded him touching the computer. It shows him touching the computer on my YouTube channel. Like 3 out of that 7 hours that is recorded on that audio recording device, those hours are also recorded live on YouTube with my sister going through those papers. Now, the real problem was, you know, as long as that was happening and it was being recorded and I was trying to be as nice as I could and they were being a fucking pain in the ass about every goddamn thing, but on the bright side, at least Tara was there. And of course, when we took our lunch break, I figured, you know what? I'll have the opportunity now to explain this to Tara. Tara, I need you to look at the evidence and I need you to verify it. Tara, can you read that? Yeah, I can read it. And then she sits there for 5 minutes. It wasn't even 5 minutes. It was probably 2. She said, oh, all right, Sean. I'm like, all right, well, what did it say? Well, I don't know, Sean. Well, that's because you didn't try reading it. Well, I have a headache. Well, all right. Yeah, I get a headache from that shit, too. There's a lot to it. Now, the major issue, me and Tara the first day, there wasn't a problem. You know, it was just me and her, and although she was really fucking off in Tweakerville with sorting the papers, the fact is that Dallas and his kids were not supposed to be there. Dallas knew that my sister was coming over to help me. Dallas knew that it was important adult subject matter. And of course, with his kids playing and all that, we did get them to be quiet, which is very good. But also, I had to be quiet. I can't talk about murder and all of that stuff because those kids will hear it. And of course, I'm supposed to understand everybody else's position and why everybody else is having problems doing this stuff. Well, here's the thing, is that the cops are going to sell their own narrative. All right, so you need to at least come forward about why you didn't. Why didn't you keep your word? Did you say that you were going to? If you didn't keep your word because you're sick and you're legitimately sick, or your kids are legitimately sick, or you legitimately got cancer, or you were legitimately having your life threatened and your kids' lives threatened and your husband's lives threatened by the fucking Bollingers and their goddamn cronies, yeah, you need to speak up. I got treated schizophrenic and delusional for telling the truth. Sarah Bacon tells me that her and her family had their lives threatened, and I speak up about it, and I get called schizophrenic and delusional for saying that. But then again, Sarah Bacon is on my YouTube channel, multiple conversations with her. Not only does she admit that she's drunk, but there's also the fact that, yes, she does admit that her and her husband and her children had their lives threatened. Now, I've got people who are mandated reporters, and I know more about mandated reporting than they do. Or they're playing stupid. And I tend to believe that at the church, I'd like to believe at least, that those people are just ignorant of what the law actually is. Oh, that's not it. I'd like to believe that there is no mandated reporter training here like there should be. Am I qualified for mandated reporter training? No, I am not. Yes, I could pass the test in the state of Colorado for mandated reporter training. The written test. The majority of it. Because of the shitty grade that you're allowed to get now. The number of things that you're allowed to get wrong. Yeah, I could pass it based on just general education of it. But there's also the fact that I do look up the laws. I do make sure that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. When people want to argue with me about what the law says, well, fuck you. You told me that you're not a lawyer. I went to lawyers, and I'm asking you to do what the lawyers said. The lawyers said that I have to have someone go in with me, someone who is informed. The lawyers said that I need to document everything. Now, one thing is, according to the state of Oregon, allegations are good enough to start an investigation. If you just allege that somebody touched your wiener inappropriately in the state of Oregon, that is good enough to initiate. Just because you told a mandated reporter that a crime was committed against you, it is mandatory for them to report it. I spent quite a while before I went into the church today to go get some dinner, looking up the laws. I do that often. I know that I can't retain all of the information all at once. I know that there's a lot to try to remember. And what I got to do is go through and read what I can, and the parts that I can remember, good. If there's stuff that I can't remember, then I got to go back and read it again. The thing is, you guys keep telling me to do this alone. It doesn't matter how hard I work, how hard I try, how much of this stuff that I am able to accomplish, because I'm having to do it by myself. And all my predators have to do is say he's mentally ill, and all of my hard work goes right down the fucking toilet. Law enforcement did everything that they could to hide their crimes, as well as the crimes of my predators, because, of course, if they do anything about my predators, that lends validity to my voice. Helps to show that their narrative of me being so mentally ill that I must be schizophrenic and delusional is bullshit. They did that knowingly, willingly, and intentionally. They chose to harm an innocent man, knowing he was innocent, and knowing that that innocent man was trying to turn them in because they didn't do their jobs as mandated reporters, and they got people killed. No, I'm not going to pretend that you're the good guy after you get Natalie Bollinger's head blown off because you didn't want to do your fucking job. I'm not going to just forgive and fucking forget when you went out of your way to commit felonies to assist your deputies in getting away with, again, multiple felonies committed against me. To hide your fucking crimes. To hide the fact that you didn't do your fucking job. And these asswipes pretending that they're not trained in it. In Nebraska, all of them are. You can't get your job in Nebraska until you sign that piece of paper saying that you have the pamphlet, that you have read it, that you do understand what is in it. You sign that piece of paper saying that you know what to do as a mandated reporter. Oh, that is not the dude I thought he was. Alright, I just drove through this parking lot hoping I could find my rolling papers, but chances are pretty good if I dropped them in the parking lot, somebody picked them up. I got one spot I can check. I'm actually going to do that because I remember putting the cigarettes in my pocket over by one of these ashtrays. And yeah, you guys, when I got the stuff to get the moisture out of the air in here, I realized what it was made out of. I about had a fucking heart attack. I spilled some .3 fluid in here. And if you've got potassium hypochlorite and it mixes with your .3 fluid, it don't do good things. It'll actually combust without flame. I mean, it flames up, but it's action. There's propylene glycol might be it. It mixes with the chlorine, but it's a very specific type of chlorine. It's calcium hyperchloride. What I have is just calcium chloride, so it's not the same thing. It won't blow up. It won't light me on fire. But when you buy something and then you read on the package and you've got an indication and blowing shit up, and you read on there and you're like, all right, that's very similar. It's very close. I should probably look this up before my car lights on fire with me trying to sleep in it, you know? All right. Leave my car running, that way you can keep them on charging, but it's charging. A lot of people didn't want me telling their stories. Well, it's a part of my story. The way that you interacted with me, the way that you treated me, the way you spoke to me or spoke at me. When I went to you for help, how did you treat me? Is that important? And depends on who you ask, I suppose. If you ask the victim, yeah, it's important. It's traumatic. You ask other people, it's unimportant and it's just drama. Well, people are dead over that fucking drama, so you can lick a chode, dickhead. God, it smells like fucking shit here. I mean, it's always got that cow shit stink, but it's got like a musky human shit stink. They were doing something over at McDonald's the other day, and I got a feeling that's kind of the issue. Some of the stuff down here in the lowlands might actually flood out as far as the sewer goes and create issues of flushing. And being as they had all 3 of the urinals in Fred Meyer's shut down yesterday, it might be due to lowland flooding. Could be. I don't know for certain, so don't quote me on it. Alright, I gotta end this video because I'd like to urinate in private.